22 years ago, an alien race called the Shroobs realised their planet was dying. And so, they looked outwards to find somewhere hospitable to invade and take over. They set their sights on the Mushroom Kingdom, and their invasion was swift and merciless. Partners in Time was my introduction to this series, and I hold a lot of love for it. As we did before with Superstar Saga, we'll try beating this game at level 1. Unlike the janky method I used to do that with Superstar Saga, this time I had some action replay codes made for me by community member Vane that constantly set the requirement for the next level to be an unreasonably high amount. This game is generally harder than Superstar Saga, and I'm playing the North American version, which is kind of notorious for making boss fights tedious. I guess we'll see how that goes. The game opens as usual. We defeat Baby Bowser as Baby Mario in the past, and then defeat the Junior Shrooboid as Mario in the present. Though I do get hit once due to being more used to Superstar Saga's crueler attack timings. Ah well, no worries, now we can continue Hold on. Give me a moment. Okay, we defeat the Junior Shrooboid and can now continue on. Luigi falls into a time hole, Mario jumps in to save him. We end up in the past. Stuffwell appears and asks if we know how to breathe. We walk 5 steps to the right. Stuffwell pops out and asks if we know how to breathe. We climb the giant mushrooms to Holly Jolly Village. A Shrooblet falls down and lands on Luigi's head. Stuffwell pops out and asks if we know how to breathe. Very standard stuff for this game. Next up is the boss fight against 3 Shroobs, and to my great sadness, I can't even take out one of them in the 2 turns the UFO gives me before the scripted loss. The Koopa Cruiser just happens to be in the vicinity, and Bowser's Cannonball takes out the Shroob I softened up, with the babies coming down to finish the job, green shells in hand. Finally! More than 2 damage in a turn! The Shroobs are incredibly easy to dodge, so I finish them off with a few jump attacks so as to leave myself with the most green shells possible for the future. These things cost 7 coins. I don't know what's wrong with me. Mario and Luigi wake up in the Koopa Cruiser, and young Toadsworth exposits that Baby Bowser rescued them from the Shroob invasion. Then, Princess Shroob gives everyone a Zoom call despite this being set in the past, and launches a missile to knock the Koopa Cruiser down, causing it to crash into Bowser's castle. Mario and Luigi seem to be the only ones to survive the crash. Stuffwell pops out and asks if we know how to breathe, and it's onwards to find Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, since if they didn't survive, then, a big rip to the modern day bros, I guess. Thankfully, we come across them a few rooms later, and now the full party's together so I can go over everyone's stats. The mamoshka in the room is that Baby Mario and Baby Luigi start at level 3 and not level 1, but the Super Mario Wiki lists these as their level 1 stats, so honestly I don't even know. You can consider the challenge invalid if you want, or you can just change that 3 into a 1 in your mind's eye, because I promise it affects basically nothing in this game. Anyway, Mario and Baby Luigi have the same HP. I'm going to try and not be upset about that. The bigger thing here is that this game has no BP, meaning that's a stat I don't need to worry about, and that stash doesn't increase naturally when you level up in this game. It has to be done via the wheel. As a result, they start each character out with a pretty decent amount of stash to begin with. Mario already has what he had at the end of Superstar Saga, and that was after drinking a mustache-boosting coffee and while holding the Cobalt necktie. We might actually get to see some lucky hits this time around. When fighting with the full group, we can backflip off of enemies to jump twice, each with a standard minimum of 2 damage, so we're up to 4 whole damage on a regular jump. Life is good. We can also use the babies for extra action commands during bros attacks, and damn, just look at all the extra damage we can do with that. We grab a plot device from a brown chest, the like of which never appears again, and that's it for the tutorial area. We collect young Toadsworth and Baby Peach from a surprisingly adorable hostage room inside of Baby Bowser's castle, and jump into a time hole that I think Stuffwell told me about when he wasn't checking Mario's basic motor functions, allowing us to return to present day. Egad announces that the plot device we found is a shard of the Cobalt Star, the power source of his time machine, which is seemingly split up into incredibly efficient and equal sizes, and drives the kidnapped Junior Shrooboid up the wall. How did that guy even manage to pilot the time machine back here anyway? And why did the Shroobs beat it up so badly if one of them was going to get in it? That's like stealing a car but first smashing in the windscreen and slashing one of the tyres. Anyway, the Cobalt Star Shard opens up a new time hole to Toadwood Forest, so let's just go. If the shards can just open up time holes, then why did he gad? No, it's fine. Before leaving, we wake up a salvage badge onto Mario, and I ponder the training badge in the shop. It claims to make Bros items free, but in exchange they don't do very much damage. But I'm already doing the minimum damage, so why shouldn't I take it? After getting attacked by a random Koopelian as the babies, I decide to try out the training badge on Baby Mario. And my god, it works! The green shell only does 1 damage per hit, but it would have anyway. I test out Bros Flower since I'm not expecting them to do a lot of damage, and it turns out they kinda kick ass. If I had to guess, I'd say each fireball is dealing 1 damage and then it's all adding up at the end, because I pretty consistently deal 30 to 40 damage spread out against all opponents despite my low power. This is absolutely huge compared to the 16 from a green shell. And as one final test, let's see how much damage Cannonballers does with the training badge equipped. I'm not expecting much, probably just 1 damage per hit. Aha. Well, that's just weird. Rose flowers are the same, though they can still inflict the burn status. For some reason, only green shells are immune to the training badge's foul ways. But still, infinite green shells is infinite green shells. With that newfound weirdness known about, I moved the training badge onto Baby Mario so that I can at least have infinite green shells in any baby-only battles and buy another salvage badge for Luigi. In Toadwood Forest, we cause a forest fire, cross some spikes using both screens, and eventually make it to the Vim Factory. The Vim Factory, as Vanna Shroob is so joyfully telling us, is where the life force that the Shroobs are sucking out of Toads is converted into UFO fuel. Wasn't the last game about beans or something? In the very first room of the Vim Factory, some Hammer Bros remind us of a simpler time online, and Mario and Luigi get sucked up into a giant nose. This is more what I expect from these games. Giant noses. Not like soul fuel. As a result of Mario and Luigi being sucked off to God knows where, we now have a boss battle to do with just the babies, where I'll need to be careful not to be flat-sworred by their elite hammers. Baby Mario's infinite green shell stash can do 16 damage per turn to one Hammer Bro if I'm not bad, while Baby Luigi's more finite stock of Rose Flowers can result in upwards of 30 damage spread across both opponents and potentially inflict a burn, removing that Hammer Bro's ability to attack for a few turns and causing 8 damage repeatedly. Ironically, the burn makes things harder, since when they use knockback bros I can dodge it easily, but I actually failed to dodge the hammer toss attack the first time, resulting in Baby Luigi barely surviving. But he is a trooper, and eventually, even with them having 100 HP each, the Hammer Bros go down to a final Bros Flower. To atone for speaking leet in the modern day, the Hammer Bros hook the babies up with hammers that look nothing like the ones they use, and teach us how to use and counter with them in battle. Once the Hammer Bros walk away, I whip out my Bros items. I don't have the heart to tell them that the hammer just kinda sucks in this game. We haven't taken any damage in a while, so let's see— oh god, Baby Luigi! The hammer counter timing is very different in this game compared to Superstar Saga. And while it's actually on the more forgiving side, I got very used to that game's timings, and the babies have paid the price, marking the first game over of the run. After getting back to where we were, the babies smash some tree balls and Mario Luigi gets sneezed out, reuniting the group. Then the Hammer Bros come back and teach us how to use hammers while in piggyback mode, and I will literally never do this again after this tutorial, thank you. In the next room is this spiny Shroopa, who comes back for seconds after I successfully block it, killing Baby Luigi as a result. And, yeah, second game over, haha. No more messing around. Let's whip out Cannonballers, the strongest Bros attack at this point in the game by far, and— yeah, okay, I didn't think it would do a lot, but come on, 6! Deep in the Vim Factory's centre, we find the Swiggler, a monstrous creature that converts Vim into fuel for Shroob UFOs. While Mario and Luigi are unsure of what to do, Baby Mario has the flawless plan of pissing off the giant caterpillar. This, of course, begins a boss fight. Our goal in this fight is to hit the Dr. Shroobs when they hold poison mushrooms, knocking them into Swiggler's drink to weaken it. Which feels not great, I won't lie. Unleashing a Cannonballers, the normal method for victory here, sees us dealing 10 damage, out of 200. Not awful, but green shells would just do more. And honestly, since Swiggler's lower defense isn't making a huge difference here, there's not really a need to weaken it with poison mushrooms. I still do whenever I can, because the shockwave attack can be somewhat difficult to dodge, but overall this is just a pretty shrimple fight. I try out Rose Flowers when there's no downside to doing so, but it does less damage to Swiggler than green shells do. Would be amazing if it didn't have flunkies, but oh well. We're still at the stage in the game where I'm just figuring things out generally, so Swiggler's a bit of a guinea pig. Oh, also defeating the Dr. Shroobs just immediately brings in more, so that's not really a strategy. Anyway, boss defeated! The Shroobs can no longer easily convert Vim into UFO fuel. We also get another Cobalt Star Shard after the fight. Or we would, but Baby Bowser steals it along with the first one. Drat. After being warped back to the present day, Ice Flowers are now for sale. Ice Flowers are very good, having the damage of Rose Flowers, inflicting stat drops, and also being the weakness of Shroobs. They are also dirt cheap for what they are. I buy a lot of them, selling my useless Cannonballers to buy even more. We inform Egad of the bad news, but he reveals that time is becoming unstable and there are now time holes all over the place. For some reason, he sees this as a positive, and suggests that one of them in particular is likely where Baby Bowser has gone. But first, we have to watch the Toadsworths put themselves through torture to try and make the baby princess laugh. Luigi looks at the Toadsworth twist and says, "Hey wait, didn't we used to do that?" to Mario. And so, the Toadsworth twist is ours. No, I won't call it the spin jump. We can now Toadsworth twist across the bookshelves in the library to get to the time hole Egad pointed us to, landing us on Yoshi's Island. Bumping into Kylie Koopa, the photographer, we discover that this place is like a ghost town. The Yoshi residents are all hiding on the roof, but for some reason flee their hiding spot and run out into danger. That danger being Yub, a gigantic Shroob Yoshi that proceeds to consume every idiotic citizen before running away somewhere. Checking another house causes us to bump into Kamek, which proves Egad's theory correct. He reveals that Baby Bowser is at the cliff top and then runs away, so we'd better give chase. Oh, there's Yub! Yeah, and off it goes again. Anyway, yes, giving chase. But first, Luigi is not above petty theft and even bribes his younger self with one of the spoils of war, which is really just eating it but with extra steps. Instead of cookies, Baby Mario gets to be waterboarded. I do discover on the climb that training badge smash eggs are still completely capable of dropping items. So that could be a strategy if I ever end up going completely insane and also run out of money somehow. I also pick up some nice heart pants for Baby Luigi, increasing his HP and defense to more acceptable values. See, he can actually lift hits now. Ignore Baby Mario, he's having a bad day. Eventually, we make it to the summit and catch Baby Bowser snarfing down cookies to the point of choking. While he's distracted, the babies eat all of the remaining cookies, like a school of piranhas skeletonizing a cow. Furious, Baby Bowser goes to walk off his hunger, and Kamek fights us. Which is kind of fair, really. Amazing start there, GuineaLottie. Kamek's gimmick of splitting into a group is normally undone by Ice Flower debuffs revealing the real one, but for our purposes, Ice and Rose Flowers are just our best attacking option, so it doesn't really matter much. His gigantic spiked balls do shockingly little damage, so even if I do get hit by one on occasion, it's not a huge deal, especially if we land a pow down with Ice Flowers. Oh, also, lucky hits with Ice Flowers still deal double the damage, allowing us some genuinely insane numbers for a level 1 challenge. And, inevitably, Kamek falls. Really more a mid-boss than anything. That distraction aside, we corner Baby Bowser in a dead end, and he eats the Cobalt Star Shards in vengeance. As we try to beat them out of him, we're spotted by some Shroob UFOs, which proceed to embiggen Yub, who eats Baby Bowser and then us. Trapped in the belly of the beast, Luigi feeds the babies with his stolen goods, Mario awakens, Stuffwell pops out and asks if we know how to breathe, and it's clear we're gonna need to find a way out of here. Almost immediately, our potential escape method reveals itself, a single Yoshi pushing a chomp rock. He surmises that if we can get the rock down Yub's intestines, it should widen a path for us to walk through, but he'll need some help to do so. And so, we feed one Yoshi, rescue one from an RC Shroober, create a bridge to help another cross some spikes, get some puffy trousers for Luigi to help him survive attacks, input a password to save a Yoshi from being caged, and then save one more from an RC Shroober. With this done, they can now push the chomp rock down, stretching out Yub's guts to create a walkable path. After following this path, we discover that Yub is actually not just a living creature, but a factory designed to turn Yoshis into monster eggs, likely to use as a weapon to take over the world. Following that horrifying revelation, we bump into Toadwood, who travelled with Peach in the time machine. Unfortunately, he's completely lost his memory and has no help when it comes to locating her. He does reveal that the exit is just past this point, blocked by a horrible monster. Sounds like a boss fight to me. And hey, Baby Bowser's here too. We have a lot of reasons for this fight, so let's do it. The fight against Sunnyside usually revolves around breaking these eggs to free Yoshis that will roll a chomp rock onto its head, massively lowering the monster's defense from 180 to 45. But we do minimum damage either way, so the defense drop isn't really important here. One issue that the eggs do cause is splitting the damage from our Ice Flowers, and though they can be more effective than green shells if we get lucky, I opt to just stick with green shells. From full, Sunnyside will die to 30 perfect green shells, so it's not exactly much of an ask. And hey, if ever there are no eggs, we can whip out our Ice Flowers for some bonus damage. Partners in Time is a game where nearly every boss has a gimmick, but this one doesn't really affect us much at all in this challenge. And, soon enough, without ever falling on its back once, Sunnyside is defeated. We get a proper boss explosion and everything. With its defeat, the exit opens, and all of the eggs miraculously fall through. We get out through the secret entrance and Yub shuts down. Which is good, because we were just gonna leave it otherwise. Back in the village, Baby Bowser is taking credit for saving all the Yoshis, who apparently have goldfish level memory and have completely forgotten us. And after snarfing down every cookie in the village, Baby Bowser vomits up the Cobalt Star Shards, which launch him far off the island for some reason. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is that we got them back. Let's return them to Egad and see what's what. Well, after buying some trousers for the Marios, of course. Egad just kinda tells us to go hunting for more Cobalt Star Shards, and also warns us that a new time hole has appeared that links directly to Peach's castle in the past. However, since that's our final dungeon, we can't go there yet. so I'm not really sure why it even opens up here. If we try and go there anyway, Stuffwell just pops out and asks if we know how to breathe. Only one thing for it, and that's to watch the Toadsworth suffer once more. I honestly have no idea what they were even trying to do here before Baby Mario whacks them, but for some reason this inspires Mario. Luigi is less than thrilled. After mastering the Bros Ball, Mario and Luigi can now spin this gear. Somehow. I'm not seeing any teeth on that smooth ball, but whatever. This allows us access to the sewers, which grants a weirdly large amount of money, as well as the shop Fawful's Bean and Badge. Fawful. Doesn't ring any bells. Regardless, this is the game's only use for beans, and once I'm done pondering trade deals, I decide to buy a rough badge to see if it actually increases the damage dealt. It does. It multiplies damage dealt by 1.5 times, and even rounds the damage on green shells from 1 up to 2, doubling their efficacy. This is phenomenal. But even more phenomenal is it increases the damage dealt by flower attacks. This is it! This is the winning badge. Anyway, no more distractions. With the Bros Ball, we're fast enough to roll up these stairs and hit the block at the top, unlocking the time hole to the Gritsy Desert. First port of call? Stepping on this button. Never mind, that was a terrible port of call and no ship should dock there. While Luigi gets harassed by murderous alien mushrooms, Mario has a casual chat with Kylie Koopa, who popped out of the sand for some reason. She tells us there's a secret entrance to the Koopaseum and that it's connected to the 4 giant statues on the minimap. I guess that's helpful. Mario and Luigi roll their way over to one statue, and then the babies slowly toddle their way over to the one facing it. Hitting the Simon blocks on both statues in 9 seconds makes them shoot lasers at a chunk of ice between them. Repeating the process with the second set of statues causes the ice to melt, unveiling an exclamation mark block. From there, all that's left to do is reunite everyone, and then throw the babies up to hit the exclamation mark block, granting us entrance to the Koopaseum's rafters. Watching through a skylight, we see Princess Shroob put on a show for a massive crowd of Shroobs, and then feed Princess Peach to Petey Piranha. Well, darn, guess we failed at the hero thing. Also, Kylie Koopa gets kidnapped. We should at least try and save one damsel in distress, especially since the original one is now fertilizer. After rolling through the weirdest scaffolding I ever did see, we find a small stone platform, which elevates us into... yeah, I don't think we want to be here. Despite a surprisingly good showing from the Marios and Baby Luigi, Luigi manages to get himself entangled in the Shrooboid Brat's lollipop. I mean, we didn't know the name of this creature before now, but it says it in battle. Maybe Mario named it that. Oh, boss fight. So, Sunnyside had 480 HP. A decent chunk, but manageable. The Shrooboid Brat? A casual 1,100. At least Mario now deals extra damage thanks to the rough badge, so it's not all bad, but annoyingly the Shrooboid Brat isn't weak to ice. I decide to try out a Pocket Chomp I picked up somewhere, not expecting much. But the Pocket Chomp actually deals 2 damage rather than the 1 of the green shell, so it's a very good attack, especially since it can theoretically go on forever and is further boosted by the rough badge. I didn't even do well with that one and it dealt 73, so maybe that 1100 HP isn't too much of a tall order after all. Trampolines though? Yeah, they only deal 1, boosted to 2 by the rough badge. Still an upgrade to green shells, but absolutely not worth the price they cost to buy. Oh, also, I for some reason just cannot block any of the hammer attacks in this fight. These are some Superstar Saga level hammer hitboxes, and I don't like it. The fireballs later on are even worse. I basically get through this fight by just spamming 1-up mushrooms and hoping the Shrooboid Brat uses an attack I need to jump over. Near the end, I actually start to run out of 1-ups and need to rely on the babies more. At least Baby Mario still has his training badge. Thanks to my surprisingly high damage potential, I end up winning this race with everyone still standing. Well, everyone who matters. Still, that was a sloppy display, and I would rather other boss fights weren't like that. With the Shrooboid Brat defeated, the Shroobs gathered around us and hammered a hole in the ground beneath us, somehow dropping us in a different place than the elevator we rode up on. After opening this weirdly well-guarded shop, we see dire POW badges for sale. These multiply damage by 2.5 times when the user is below a quarter HP, hard to reach after being revived in battle, but if a bro is downed at the end of battle, he gets revived with 1 HP. I ponder this purchase and then buy one for Luigi, just to see how well it works. Also, somehow Baby Luigi deals 0 damage to a Dark Bow on a counterattack, so that's cool and good. Anyway, turns out the dire POW badge is very nice indeed. We'll be buying a second one as soon as we have the cash. I mean, just look at this Pocket Chomp! We even failed with our backup damsel. We are bad at this. Maybe I shouldn't have spent so long testing out badges. Bright side, we have enough coins now for a Dire Pow badge for Mario. I then move the rough badge onto Baby Luigi to give us a second line of offense if the big bros fall out of a quarter HP. Which is probably going to happen a lot, seeing as everything one-shots them. Alright, about time we actually caught up with Petey Piranha. Though this is set 22 years in the past, so I'm not really sure why he's here. Still, a boss fight is a boss fight. Petey Piranha has 1300 HP, so another step up from the Shroob brat, but he was foolish enough to pack weakness to fire. Dealing 10% of a boss's max HP while at level 1 hits different, let me tell you. I don't think anything is going to surpass this 160 for a very long time, if ever. Oh, never mind, here's a 180. And a 190. Yeah, apart from clowning on him, there's nothing here worth talking about. Hey, at least he exploded into Kylie Koopa and a Cobalt Star Shard. Those things are paced super weirdly. Kylie Koopa lets us know that Princess Peach was spat out of Petey Piranha and is probably up ahead. And, oh, they healed me after that boss fight? That completely ruins my Dire Pow strategy. 2 rooms north, we find Princess Peach and... Ew! Well, let's take her back with us. Sure, we have the princess back, but we don't really have a lead now, let alone a way to get that mushroom off her face. While the princess rests, we can watch the Toadsworth twist fail to entertain the young princess. However, a gust of wind launches them into her, and she flies into the air. Luigi thinks this is a fantastic idea. And so, the baby twist is ours. But that's not all. The Toadsworths just fucking run the baby princess over, flattening her like a pancake. Mario thinks this is a fantastic idea. And indeed, yes, we can steamroll our past selves to create baby cakes. Well, that's that aside dealt with. Now what? Bowser? That works for me. Bowser gets a mouthful of purple mushroom and fills the room with noxious gas. He takes this opportunity to grab the princess and sprints off, accidentally falling into a time hole. Well, time to rescue her. Again. This time hole goes to Thwomp Volcano. Would have been neat to visit some of these areas in the present, now that I think about it. Oh well. This is a fairly straightforward climb up the mountain, with no real goal aside from chasing Bowser. Well, until we reach the top and find Princess Peach's crown. And the volcano erupts, that feels kinda noteworthy. Running from the eruption, we find the young Egad. And while he is thoroughly unhelpful, watching a baby spit somehow gives him the idea to invent a gigantic hose to pump water through the time hole, putting out the eruption from the future, and... Look, just go with it, okay? Theoretically, this should let us explore inside the volcano, however we've depressed a Thwomp who really wanted to play in the lava, and his wife now hates us. For some reason, this makes complete sense to me. These games have beaten me down. I guess we have another boss fight on our hands. Great start. Mrs. Thwomp's a bit different from the other bosses so far. After taking 150 points of damage, she splits into 4, 3 fakes that have 50 HP, and 1 real one with 400 HP. The trouble is, I don't really have a good bros attack to focus damage on a single target. And after a turn or two have passed, she reforms into the larger Mrs. Thwomp and the cycle begins anew. So despite her lower HP than the previous bosses, this fight lasts for a while. Especially given that after Mario and Luigi fall, it's impossible to get them back below 1/4 HP for the Dire Pow badge. Should I have just reset and tried harder to keep their HP low? Absolutely. But hey, dragging this short fight out for 44 minutes meant I could get tons of free bros items from countering her boulder attack, so who's the real loser? With Mrs. Thwomp defeated, her husband gets angry. Which is fair, because we just spent 3/4 of an hour beating up his wife. The bros explain that they're looking for a princess, and he calms down and decides to live his purpose as a lift, carrying us into the volcano's depths. After he calls his wife fat. The inside of the volcano is shockingly ornate, as we can see even more with the scene of Bowser meeting his younger self, though the two don't get along. And somehow, yes, Princess Peach is still alive, despite having been inside a volcano that was actively erupting. She's built so different. While exploring the volcano, we finally get access to copy flowers. Okay, the shop was selling them earlier, but they're expensive. These target one enemy until it's defeated, then move on to the next, last forever if I don't mess up the action command, and are just easier to use than the trampolines. This is our best attack for the remainder of the game and should make things a lot easier going forward. We also play a slots minigame, which is noteworthy because it's the only way to get infinite beans. Anyway, let's finally crash Bowser's big lava power party and rescue the princess. Unfortunately, he seems to get along incredibly well with his younger self. That's just one of the many things I don't have in common with Bowser. Oh well, I guess it's boss time. Great start. Honestly, let's just do this with the babies. Baby Luigi has the rough badge on, so he deals more damage than the Elder Bros would now anyway. Baby Mario is here too. Bowser has 1100 HP and Baby Bowser has 640, so we're in for a long one. At least Bowser is weak to ice flowers. Oh, well, okay, maybe we actually use the Elder Bros this time. This shell hammering attack is my nemesis, I just cannot get it down for some reason. I want to blame the hammer timings, but they're actually fade in this game, so it's definitely a skill issue. Again, the shockwave attack comes out and... I'm starting to worry about myself. Well, I guess we can try with just the babies again. The shell attack takes mercy on me, knocking Bowser away for a few turns and letting us attack this little menace. If left alive, Baby Bowser will heal Bowser for 100 HP whenever he damn well pleases, so it's best to try and get him out early. He is interestingly not weak to ice, so I guess that was an allergy developed later in life. Now, why did I fail with just the babies last time? Oh yeah. I swapped Baby Mario over to the dynamic badge so that when he inevitably comes out, he won't be useless. We have plenty of ice flowers, so using 2 at a time for an increase to damage is a fine trade-off. Yet again, I failed the shockwave dodge. I'm not sure what it is about it that's getting me so bad. Still, I have a new plan. This time, we'll just use the babies instead of reviving the older bros. Oh, wow, I actually dodged it. Well done, me. I even successfully countered the shell attack afterwards, exposing Baby Bowser to a fair bit of damage before Bowser returns. I like the way he just strolls in from off-screen. How long do you think he was spinning for before he realised something was wrong? Oh, there he goes. With Baby Bowser now on his own, this fight is basically won. Especially with the weirdly high damage we can do with our badges. I don't know, I'm still not used to it. It feels so wrong seeing numbers like this. And before long, the fight is won. There's a part of me that's proud I didn't change my strategy and just got good. And another part of me that knows all I really did was hit my head against the wall until it worked. Bowser and Baby Bowser get launched out of the volcano, which still had a little erupting to do, and Bowser falls down perfectly into the time hole. Dude never even knew he travelled in time, but he was a useful plot device for a bit. While rescuing the princess would be great, it's never that easy. The Shroob mothership slurps her through a big straw while the bros just kind of watch before quickly hurrying after her. Although they do end up separated from her. Somehow. Don't worry, Stuffwell's here to make sure we know how to breathe. While exploring the mothership, we thankfully find the princess unharmed. Wait, no, that's a hologram. That's just me. Oh, and here's 7 million Shroobs. Princess Peach walks in, removes the mushroom from her face, and reveals herself to have been Princess Shroob in disguise, who my chat immediately started thirsting over, for some reason. Kylie Koopa jumps out and saves us, but, this means the last we saw of the real Princess Peach was when she was eaten by Petey Piranha. I'm just saying, I'm not super confident she's doing so great. Apparently, Princess Shroob's plan was to infiltrate the future Mushroom Kingdom, and it's because of Bowser taking her back in time that her plan failed. So, thanks, man. As with all good spaceships, the top floor contains nothing but a trapdoor. I mean, hey, it's a way out, right? I'm sure Kylie will be fine. The bros land somewhere, thankfully all together. Stuffwell pops out, asks if we know how to breathe, and informs us that this is Toad Town. It's seen better days, that's for sure. Toad Town is usually the one safe zone, so to see it destroyed like this stands out. Just a bigger sign that we aren't just in this for the princess. We're in this to save the world. After a few minutes of exploration, the Cobalt star shards we've collected start going crazy, and Stuffwell surmises that this has something to do with Star Hill, located nearby. It's as good a lead as any. First though, we've collected a lot of beans. It's probably about time we visited Fawful's Bean and Badge again and grabbed another rough badge for Baby Mario, for those times when things go pear-shaped. Alright, time to go through this pipe, which goes straight to Star Hill. That is insanely convenient. Yes, thank you, Stuffwell, I'm still capable of converting oxygen into carbon dioxide. Let's head to the summit. Oh yeah, we now have access to mixed flowers, which are supposed to be the big showstopper attack of this game. Unfortunately, they don't work like Bro or Ice Flowers do, but the fact they deal 25 damage despite that is pretty insane. They're fairly useless for us, but seeing power like that is still impressive. I always like the look of this area, shame it's so short. Time for the requisite boss fight. Wow, that's a lot of guys. As a child, I loved the Shroob. I don't know why. I drew a picture of it and sent it into a TV channel that was doing reruns of the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 show, thinking that it was new. Anyway, this fight is, pardon my French, très fastidieux. The Commander Shroob has 1600 HP, but the problem is that he runs away. We need to take out the middle and right support Shroob so that the Shroob is dropped and rolls off screen, blowing the Commander Shroob into the fight for a couple of turns. Each of them has 110 HP, which isn't too crazy, but still, we need to do it a lot. Also, for some reason, unlike most Shroob enemies, the support Shroobs aren't weak to ice. They actually only take 1 damage from it. Sure, ice flowers wouldn't be great here anyway, but it's the principle of the thing. Also, yeah, the bros died on turn 1, so I just kept going with the babies. If the big bros go down, they lose their POW boost, but the rough badges on the babies are constant. Yes, somehow I've made the babies stronger and more reliable than the big bros, I'm not sorry. Okay, let's actually fight the commander. And look, he is weak to ice. A true Shroob. I struggle to block things with my hammer that come from straight above, and honestly, I never really get better at it. But that's okay, the babies can really pile on the damage right now. We end up doing a quarter of the commander's HP before he summons a new Shroob. Still, nothing gets harder from here, so we just need to repeat this process a few times, and boom, there he goes. I'll miss you, man. At the summit of Star Hill, the star sprite inside the Cobalt Okay, hold on. Egad, you were using this thing as, like, fuel. And it was alive? What the hell, man? And, okay, yes, I know the plot of this game in advance, but later on Egad is like, oh, you spoke to the star sprite inside the Cobalt Star? That's cool. Like he expected it, so no, the guy should not be absolved. Anyway, the star sprite tells us she has the power to defeat the Shroobs, so we should keep gathering those shards. That was profoundly useless, we were going to do that anyway. Though she does at least let us know there's a shard just ahead, so that's nice. Advancing forward in search of that shard, a door blocks the path. The door reads Mario's heart, and despite worries that his arteries may be clogging due to his weight, it says he's pure enough. Luigi, on the other hand, is apparently on the Epstein list or something, so he can't pass. Instead of just doing a dungeon without his brother, Mario refuses to leave Luigi behind. The door offers another solution, having Luigi hit the Aurora block, which is somewhere. And hitting it will make the door forget Luigi's crimes. Oh, there's the Aurora block. Yeah, this place is sharp. Baby Luigi strikes it, and it flies back to the whistleblower door. Now Luigi can strike it in front of... Luigi, come on, man. The star door chews Luigi out and asks him who brought the Aurora block in. Luigi absolutely insists it was all him, despite being given 3 tries, and the door is disgusted with him. But Mario stands up for his brother, and even the babies chip him with moral support. Apparently this was all just a test of the group's love for each other, but when the door mentioned Luigi had a horrible secret, he acted shocked and scared that people would find out. So something's definitely going on there. That was all really weird. Let's go on. Breath check! Oh hey, a Cobalt Star Shard. And it's not behind a boss or anything? That's neat. Yeah, no, really, we just get given it. That's 4. Oh, and here's Kylie and Toadbert. I told you she'd be fine. She landed on Toadbert's head and gave him back his memory. It's convenient. And wow, he has the 5th Cobalt Star Shard and the final one we need to get into Shroob Castle. Mario whips out the 4 shards he already has, and Toadbert panics and runs off. Well, at least we know where the last one is. We leave you guys alone for 6 minutes and you're collapsed? What the hell? And now your mushrooms, this is awful. Oh well, boss time. Great start. The Elder Shroob has 1,750 health, but it's a real Shroob patriot, so it's weak to ice. Also, I swear I'm not using the babies in every boss fight on purpose, I'm just consistently bad at dodging the first attack. I haven't played this game in like a million years, leave me alone. Nothing in this phase is overly difficult, and soon enough we'll reach phase 2. Oh, yeah, did I not mention that part? It gets way bigger, has a further 1200 HP we need to delete, and also just for fun we now have a strict time limit on the fight. Only 3 turns. Sort of. See, every turn the Elder Shroob attacks, it'll throw a giant spike ball at us. If we counter said spike ball, it hits the UFO and resets the timer. So basically, no, this fight doesn't have a timer on it. Oh, well that's unfortunate. Let's see if I can keep the Elder Bros alive a little longer next time. Hey, they made it to phase 2! Good for them. That means I can actually use copy flowers in a boss fight for once. I mean, I won't, because ice flowers do more and are faster, but, like, I can. I'll keep it real, I have no idea how to counter this attack. It feels like no matter how many times I hit it with the hammer, the Elder Shroob just kills a bro anyway. Oh well, the babies clutch up again. Starting to think the time travel wasn't really necessary, these two have got this. And that's the 5th Cobalt Star Shard. Yet they really could have paced these better. But hey, we can access Shroob Castle now. I mean, we're not going to. We're going to play the slots in Thwomp Volcano to earn a bunch of beans. Then we'll take those beans to Fawful's Bean and Badge to grab a treasure badge. That description is absolutely mangled. What this actually does is forces enemies to drop an item so long as they're defeated with a bros item. Trust me, we're gonna want this. Alright, let's actually save the world, or whatever. The Cobalt Star opens the front gates of Shroob Castle, and our final dungeon is open. Honestly, I'm impressed at the lengths people go to redecorate Peach's castle. It's extremely important that there's only one way through, after all. This enemy right here, the Shroob Rex, is an important one. Under normal circumstances, they have a 2.25% chance of dropping the 100-point pants, the ultimate armor for the babies. But with the treasure badge, that chance goes up to 15%. I don't get it, pair. But still, it's worth mentioning. There's another enemy later on with a similar drop for the older bros. Anyway, because final dungeons in Mario games are always a test of everything that came before, we have to do the Gritsy desert thing to free an exclamation mark block from ice. So, I guess the Shroob set that up? But if they set it up, then why would Kylie know there was a secret way into the Koopaceum? The Shroobs didn't need a secret way in, they already had access to the place. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, is it all just a crazy coincidence? If the Shroobs would have waited... Hitting the thawed exclamation mark block allows us to travel on, up to the first floor of the castle. And hey-ho! It's Shroobsworth! These are the enemies that drop the Supreme Slacks, Mario Luigi's ultimate armor. Unfortunately, because the intern Shroob will revive Shroobsworth with full HP every turn, this isn't going to be happening easily. No, I don't get it, pair. Told you this was an amalgamation of all prior game mechanics. Rolling up to the roof unlocks the Shroob mothership. It's fun to imagine Princess Shroob rolling up there. This is actually a surprise mini-game where we need to destroy all of the Shroob UFOs patrolling the balcony. It's not possible to fail this, but it's secretly just a tutorial. I bet those UFO pilots are confused as all hell. Now that we've cleared the path forward to this giant Princess Shroob statue, we come to a control room with CCTV footage of Princess Peach. I'm shocked she's actually still alive. This was all for something. Princess Peach is overjoyed that Mario has travelled through time to save her, and reveals that she's at the very top of the statue before the feed cuts out. Let's take the pipe up and save her. Never mind, the sewers it is. We do at least find a pair of space trousers down here and... Good lord, muscle slacks? I've left the Elder Bros unequipped in the Gritsy desert? What the hell, past me? These aren't as good as the Supreme Slacks, but they're still pretty great, so Luigi can have them. With Mario getting these Para Slacks that have just been rotting in my inventory for God knows how long. They've basically just been naked this whole time, since while POW doesn't matter in a level 1 run, defense absolutely does. Well, at least we found a pipe to take us... No, see, this is further down. This is the opposite of what we wanted. Okay, what about this pipe? Yeah, that seems much better. Back to the ground floor. This unlocks a shortcut and also a path onwards, back up to the library, letting us finally access the statue. Before we end this though, I'm going to run back and buy as many ice flowers, bro flowers, and copy flowers as I can. I imagine we're gonna need a lot. We found her. For the first time all game, we're in the same room as Princess Peach. Unfortunately though, she's behind a force field. Before we can figure out how to disarm it, the Shroob mothership begins blasting the statue. I guess Princess Shroob found her keys. We'd better run up there and try and sort things out. Thankfully, the statue's crown is also a spaceship. I should help. And thus begins a boss fight of sorts where we need to knock UFOs into the mothership to bring it crashing down. It is very easy. The mothership collides with the statue, and when we rush down to see, it seems it knocked the barrier out of commission, freeing Peach. Unfortunately, Princess Shroob survived the crash. To be fair, we could hardly have let the Elder Shroob be the final boss. The bros still have no idea what Princess Shroob is saying, but it's revealed to us as the players that the two-letter phrase they've been chanting and laughing all game long means destroy. It's us or them. Great start. Princess Shroob starts off with a force field that takes 15 hits before being destroyed, after which she can actually be damaged. She isn't weak to ice, which I was banking on heavily actually. Oops. I guess we're taking out that 3000 health manually. It's clear pretty quickly my strategy isn't going to work here, so I take the L to think up something better. First, I want to test if a green pepper and full HP is enough to let Luigi survive an attack. Shockingly, it is, meaning I can regain my Dire Pow status mid-fight. That's absolutely huge, even if it only applies to Luigi due to Mario's lower max HP. And only to that one attack. Don't take this from me. Easily Princess Shroob's worst attack is this one where she throws a star at the bros. This attack only ends when it's either countered successfully or it hits a bro, otherwise lasting forever and speeding up while doing so. It's a menace. But the problem here isn't any one of her attacks, it's the sheer volume of them that she gets. After dropping below half HP, Princess Shroob turns pink and starts just having like 500 attacks a turn. I mean, see for yourself. Eventually though, she falls. As we rush to leave, the Cobalt star appears and Princess Peach reveals she held the final shard all along. Suddenly, Baby Bowser drops out of nowhere and completes the Cobalt star, which then goes absolutely ballistic and begins to morph and transform. Princess Peach tells us that Princess Shroob had a twin sister all along, which makes sense in a game all about familial relationships. The elder Princess Shroob was stored in the Cobalt star by Peach, and that previous fight? Absolutely nothing compared to what's to come. She's here, she's pissed, and she speaks perfect English. The platform we're on rises into the storm-filled clouds above, and this is it. The final battle to save the world. We're fully healed. That's awful. Our only real option is to do this slowly, one damage at a time. She has 3,500 health. Sure, I can chip away with Bro Flowers and Ice Flowers, but with a generous average of 35 damage per flower, that's 100 turns we'll need. And while I can manage that, well, you'll see. Interestingly, since she can be debuffed by Ice Flowers, a green pepper actually causes us to take such little damage from her Chain Chomp attack that we don't even fall into dire HP. Oh, go on Luigi, can you tank a meteor to the face? Yes? Oh my god, okay then, I guess we have something here. Certainly to find something to get Mario down, but it's a start. Though annoyingly, Peach can heal us at random intervals, which completely ruins this plan. Just as a reminder, I do still need to successfully dodge every single attack she throws at me. I haven't really mentioned that in a while, but yeah, a single attack and I go down. Oh yeah, and when you die, you get to do the first fight again. I decide to move the rough badges over to the big bros. Yeah, my strategy was sorta working, but this feels less stupid. They do less damage this way, but they do so more reliably. Okay, let's try this again. Great start. After chipping off enough health, she pulls out another attack. She heals for 120 HP. That means that with 2 rough badge flower attacks a turn, we're dealing a profit of around 20 to 30 damage. Now sure, she doesn't do this every turn, but she certainly does it a lot. The only way to outpace her before running out of items is to use copy flowers. And so, I use a lot of copy flowers. Note that down. Sure, it's a marathon, but dying with the rough badge is nowhere near as punishing as dying with a dire pow badge. It can let her healing start to outpace my damage, but with copy flowers we're absolutely winning this. Though, my god, my fingers are really starting to hurt. Each good copy flower does around 50 button presses, and I really start to slip up from hand cramps. Here it is, my final copy flower. And just barely, after an hour and a half, victory is at hand. Did I say victory? I meant another phase, with 3,000 more health. I'll be fully transparent, I made a save state here. But it doesn't matter, I've already lost. See, with this phase you're supposed to destroy her feet and then break her crown to damage her head, as otherwise her head will only take 1 damage from every attack. Since both of those parts regenerate, it isn't worth the effort to do so, and we should just go for the head. But that's 3,000 HP in an aerial enemy that needs to be dealt one at a time, while there are other targets. That means the only bros attack that will work is the copy flower, and I would need 60 of them at minimum. I only entered this boss gauntlet with 50 to begin with. I tried to persevere for a while, but in the end, I accept that I was doomed from the start. After some grinding for drops, it's time to look at the new loadout. 4 dire pow badges, we'll find a way to activate them, don't you worry. I also have 99 copy flowers, gotten from using the treasure badge and defeating blazing Shroobs in Thwomp Volcano. I'm not half-assing this. And as one final thing, I did indeed grind for 2 pairs of Supreme Slacks and 2 pairs of 100-point pants. The speed is worthless, the stash might give us occasional crits, but really what made this grind worth doing was the HP and defense. It will now be significantly easier to fall back into dire power range. Okay, maybe it's not valuable for the babies, but damn it, I got these things for them just in case. Let's start this boss gauntlet. Trampolines to break her shield, and we're actually going to use pocket chomps for damage here. Remember, they do a lot, and they're really good in fights where there's only one target. That's more than 1/14 of her health right there. Half an hour and over 600 inputs later, the younger Princess Shroob is down. I do a victory dance to keep my spirits up. Elder Princess Shroob, Phase 1. Our first task is to find a way to lower our HP to below a quarter. Her hand laser attack seems like a good shout, and indeed I managed to get Mario into the range. The only reason Luigi doesn't also end up there is actually because she just didn't attack him enough. We finally have something resembling survivability. Oh, damn it, Peach! You're making this so much harder! Regardless, I do quick maths on the fly and get hit by her attacks the optimal amount of times to knock both bros into dire HP. And now, the onslaught can begin. Again, pocket chomps are actually optimal here. We want to save all of our copy flowers for the last phase, just in case. From the start, this game has made it clear it's us versus them. The Shroob home planet is dead and devoid of life, and they need a new place to survive. But we can't just surrender our lives and hand over this planet. It doesn't matter what the bros have gone through to get here, how much of a struggle it was. This is the final battle. We've driven the invaders into a corner, and even in her desperate flailing, the Elder Princess Shroob is unable to beat our heroes down, her attacks doing nothing but strengthening them as they get hit on purpose. There's nothing she can do, and she damn well knows it. Even as she tries to heal, the bros just have an endless tenacity that cannot be bested. Another half hour and 22 pocket chomps later, she grasps pathetically at her crown. We stopped their UFOs, we stopped their monster egg factory, we ruined their celebration, we crashed their mothership, we killed her sister. She has nothing left. Let the final phase commence. Our dire POW badges no longer matter. We're doing 1 damage either way. This is what all those copy flowers are for. Let's get to it. Each point of damage requires a successful input, and with her having 3000 health, I'm going to be here for a while. She also attacks several times every turn, usually 3 to 4. It's a shame Peach passed out, the healing would have actually been nice here. The thing is, because she attacks so much, there are no attacks that take you by surprise. You get plenty of practice with each and every one, and in the end, that's her ultimate downfall. Most of the fights in this game got me with her first attack, but here, she doesn't stand a chance. After an hour and a half, we've used 71 copy flowers. You have to wonder if she feels regret. She seems to know it's all over. She doesn't even care to let the Shroob saucers help her anymore, instead just attacking them and trying to make them crash into us. This isn't about the survival of her people. This is blind rage, vengeance for the fate of her sister. Had they only come in peace, this need never have happened. And now, it's over. She cackles maniacally one last time and turns into a plain old mushroom. With Princess Peach rescued and the world safe, it's time to go home. Well, after discovering that baby tears kill off the Shroobs. That would have been handy info an entire game ago. EGAD uses this knowledge to fill the Hydro Gush with water that's chemically identical to baby tears and sprays it through every time hole, eradicating all signs that the Shroobs ever lived. It's harsh, but effective. All that's left to do now is to say goodbye to everyone from the past and send them home. We get to see one final Toadsworth twist, and the babies give the Elder Bros their hammers. I'm sure that means they'll start the next game off with hammers, right? And that's it. We're done. And we have an official answer to the question. Can you beat Mario and Luigi partners in time at level 1? Well, actually, no. The babies start at level 3, and while I absolutely could have lowered that, they don't have any internal data for being at lower levels, so their stats would be the same. But we beat it without leveling up, and really that's good enough for me. A big thank you to GuineaLottie for editing this video, and to me for streaming this run over on twitch.tv/GuineaLottie. I look forward to whatever inside stories the future may hold. Have a nice day.